Okay, thank you, Governor, and good afternoon. We all know that athletics play an important role in all of our lives, whether you be a student athlete or a parent or just a fan. It's our role as the West Virginia Secondary School Activities Commission to develop plans for safety and to allow the games to be played and the practice. It's not unusual for us to have restrictions and guidelines for the schools and the teams to follow. We look at this as just another one of those things that we're doing to enable us to be able to participate safely. You call him governor today, but in the winter he's also coach, and Coach Justice doesn't like to lose, and certainly not being able to participate certainly has played hard with him too. With that, I'd like to announce that we have, because we've moved back the start of school to September 8th, we also are pushing back our practice days. So instead of starting on August 3rd, which most fall sports would have started besides volleyball, we're moving the start of all of our practice activities to August 17th. That will coincide, as the governor talked on Wednesday, that he was hoping that we could move a football game so that the start would be right before, the week before we come back to school. So as we work from there, we work backwards because you have to have so many practices. You have to have 14 practices to safely participate. So we had to get to a starting date that allowed us to have that. With that being said, golf has the least number of days required to practice in order to participate. And they can socially distance better than any other sport. And so our start date for golf practice is August 17th. Their first contest will be August 24th. And so they'll have about a week of practice. It allows them to get back outside and start doing the things that they like to do. On September 2nd, we are opening up competitions for volleyball, cheer, cross country, and soccer. And all of those are a week or so later than their normal time. They all have the flexibility to change their schedules, and therefore, instead of playing one game a week or two, you might have to squeeze in a third in order to get all your games. Football, we allow football to start on a Thursday night, so we will be allowing football to be played September 3rd, is the Thursday night prior to that first week of school. We think it's a great way to bring the community back together. Everybody will be in full swing by the time we walk into school on that next Tuesday. We think it's a great opportunity for our kids and for our schools to be the center of their community again and be the hub and drive what goes on in their community. So as we move forward, as the governor said, this changes from time to time. In the spring, we had different schedules trying to get the tournaments in. You can bet there's two people up here, up front, that are going to do everything we can safely to allow athletics to continue, because we know it's such an important part in the growth of our students, both physically, socially, and emotionally. We brought them back 4 weeks ago and let them start meeting with their coaches again. We limited it to an hour. Just the ability to get back and see your coach and be able to talk to your friends again in a structured, relaxed environment. All the coaches that commented back to me and the players that you saw tweeting and on social media, they were just excited to be back. And then the second 2 weeks, you allowed it to extend. They could build a little bit more, get in better condition. And then this past week, we've been able to start our 3-week window, which you're allowed to actually practice with some limitations. And we've had great opportunities for our kids. They're excited. We're going to allow the 3-week window to play out, whether yours started this past week or it starts next week. You'll be able to finish that under our current guidelines. Most of our activities are outside, and you can socially distance pretty easy. And then there'll be a break before we start our August 17th start of our practices again. So it'll give the kids a time to relax and then to get back in condition and allow everybody to regroup. So with that, Governor, we'll be releasing these things both on social media and to all of our principals, ADs, superintendents, and obviously to the media.
All right, tell them about social distancing at the games.
Right now we have, if you can't be, you have to wear a mask. And I think you're going to need to be socially distant and wear a mask, especially indoors and outdoors, anytime you can't do that. And I tell people, it's up to the public to decide whether or not we're going to have athletics come this fall, because you're the one who will wear the mask and take the social distancing and wash your hands. It sounds like it's an easy thing to do for everybody to get on board. So if you're the one who's not socially distancing, not wearing a mask, you very well could be the one. You're setting an example to somebody not to follow, and then that hurts all of our chances of participating. So we will be asking you to social distance. We'll probably have limitations on attendance. We haven't set what those are, and I'm sure they may vary from community to community and from sport to sport. But we ask you, as the community, if you want this, you have easy things to do. You could be a good role model and do it, and follow, put your mask on when you're in public. I know it's annoying, I know it's uncomfortable, but everybody felt what happened in the spring. Nobody liked no athletics. Everybody was frustrated. So to me, it's a small task to say, be a good role model, wear your mask when you're in public, socially distance. We'll be putting out guidelines with the Department of Ed and with the Department of Health as to what the standard is going to be at each game. Each venue has different opportunity for social distancing, and we just hope that we know that everybody wants athletics. We know it's important. We want you to do your part to help it come to fruition.